Let's see, what can I do for a pithy introduction? The Prison Wallets. I'm Keith. This is Ray.
Ray.
This is not a podcast about hiding things in your anus when you go into prison, although maybe it should be, and maybe someday it will be. Yeah, like if we ever get arrested, we already got the name.
Well, then I came over prepared.
So, what we've been doing a lot with this run is movies that I don't know shit about. And it's been kind of cool. It's been kind of neat to just have Ray sort of shepherd me through stuff that I haven't seen. And I just, so all I know about this movie, Mayhem, 2017, the end. That's all I know.
So this is directed by Joe Lynch. I honestly don't know a whole lot about Joe Lynch. I know he's done other stuff, but I'm just, like, he's not a household name for me. Stephen Ewan from The Walking Dead, he's in it. Normally I don't like him. I'm not a big fan. But he's really good in this fucking movie.
Yeah, I only know him just that little teeny bit that I watched Walking Dead, so he's basically a blank to me.
Yeah. And Samara Weaving, who we fucking like Samara Weaving. She's been in some awesome stuff, including our most loved episode by fans, The Babysitter.
Yeah, that was really, I was like shocked by that because basically we went into like hibernation where, with COVID, we were like, yeah, we could try to do the podcast, over fucking, well, I was going to say over Skype. Skype doesn't even exist anymore, but we were like, yeah, let's just wait till, we can hang out in person again. Turns out that took 5 years, so it was a little bit of a break. So I kind of wasn't paying that much attention to what was going on in our little dormant Prison Wallets YouTube channel. And I did know The Babysitter was our most viewed episode, but it's got like 3 times more views than the last time I checked. It's like, how the fuck does it have that many views? What is going on here?
Nearly 350,000 views on that one episode. All of the rest of our episodes, we've got a few that have, hundreds of views. We've got some that have thousands of views, some that have tens of thousands of views. But 350 fucking thousand views? Phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like you can never predict YouTube algorithms. It's just the weirdest random shit. But I guess in that case, it's probably more clear because, yeah, it's just a movie that didn't get enough love. Nobody was talking about it except us.
Everyone I've ever known that has seen The Babysitter, they don't like it. I don't get it. I don't understand it because it's a fucking fun movie. Anyway, Samara Weaving, who played Bee in that movie, is sort of a supporting actor in this, and she's really great, really fun.
Nice. I guess, again, since I don't know shit about it, there's nothing I can do but watch it and then say some shit about it. So,
jerk off?
I mean, if you're all right with that.
I'm not going to jerk you off. I've definitely got some stuff in my ass that needs to be taken out, though, now.
And you were saying you got this new cat you got is in heat. Surely we could sort something out with that, right? Have you ever seen, it's like a pretty well-known genre in Japanese cartoons of dudes that oh, my cat's turned into women and now they live in my house. And it's like, Japan, what the fuck, dude?
If you fucked the woman that your cat transformed into, but then the cat transformed back into a cat, wouldn't you feel weird? Yeah. Your relationship would be a whole lot different with that cat.
I do wonder too, I wonder what the underlying psychology, I don't know why we're so fucking talking about this, but if your cat was a person, it's like, well, it's like mean to the cat if I don't diddle it. It wants it. It has to. It's like I wonder if that's like what they're thinking is like, I'm not confident with my wife, but I would fuck my cat. That's what I imagine. All right, this is only getting more weird and racist. Let's just stop talking and let's watch Mayhem from 2017.
Mayhem 2017. Jesus Christ.
Say hello to Idiosa Dartellum 7, or the ID7 virus. Nasty looking little fucker, huh? For the uninitiated, the ID7 strain makes stress hormone levels rise, blocks neural paths, essentially attacking our id and throwing off a very important balance in our brains. The balance between emotions and reason that keep us from doing stupid shit. Things like punching your boss in the face when angry, or fucking your date in public when horny.
So yeah, I think, again, we've been on such a run of good movies. I like that movie a lot. That was good.
Yeah, it's my third time seeing it, actually. I like it a lot, too.
And yeah, that's where it's just so neat to not know shit. Like, I didn't know it was going to be like a corporate office building thing. And that's one thing I really liked about this is, like, there's always the early parts of a movie where they're setting up. And In a bad case, it's like, man, I wish they would fucking hurry up and get this movie started, you know? But in this case, I thought they did such a good job setting up the office building and the office politics and all of the interwoven, you know, like the stress of being in that position and the people on the top, literally at the top of the building, and everyone down at the bottom. Like, I would have just watched that movie, even if it was just about the corporate side of stuff and that kind of espionage. And then when it kicked into gear of killing everybody, I'm like, even better.
Yeah. And the violence in this was so well done. I mean, aside from like the one punch at the end that, you know, the guy goes up over a rail and, you know, falls 8 feet or 8 floors to his death. Like, that was, if that's the most unrealistic thing in a fucking movie, like, then I'll take it.
I always think of it in cases like that. I mean, it's probably not, it wouldn't look cool or whatever, but well, because I'm scared of heights. So whenever I'm next to, you know, the railway at Niagara Falls or something, I always imagine, what if somebody came up behind me and grabbed my ankles and wheelbarrowed me right up and over? Because that's kind of what you'd have to do to make sure somebody goes over. But if he had done that at the end of this movie, maybe it would have looked not cool.
Yeah. It would look lame.
Yeah, not as cool as the Superman punch. But yeah, generally it was like fairly low key and relatively realistic, all the violence they did against. I mean, I guess a little silly with the nail gun, but it was cool.
Yeah, the dynamics with everyone in this movie seem to, I guess, be formed in a way that made everything sort of seamless and justified. You know, like everyone's infected with this virus that makes them basically surrender to their baser desires, much like the sadness or something like that. People that are horny, they fuck. People that want to fight, they fight. People that want to kill, they kill. Like, it's awesome, you know. And it also showed in one scene, you know, the dude was sad. Like Stephen Ewan's character, Cho. I don't remember his first name. I don't. Derek Cho. He was sad at one point because his boss, who was also infected, you know, pulled out his cock and pissed on the corpse of his friend who had been killed earlier on in the movie. You know, so he was like really sad. But it didn't take him long to go from sad to nailing Samara Weaving's character.
Yeah, and it was neat how that did connect. Yeah, because if you missed our sadness episode, you know, we did that recently. It is neat that it ties in, and it's like kind of on that scale of apparently the comic book that the sadness was based on. They were more insane, and then they were less insane in the sadness, and they were. Jesus, that cat really is. And then they were like even less so in this movie, like down the scale of like more in control of themselves, but still at this nice level of. Well, one thing that I thought was cool about that movie is it like reminded me of a lot of different stuff. It was like an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. Of how the first bit was even kind of like the early parts of Fight Club about just being stuck in that corporate world. Well, I guess I'll say about that first, like with the bad guys. They did seem like really good bad guys because they didn't just seem like unbelievable assholes. Like, why are these people such assholes? It seems like kind of easier to believe that they would be assholes inside this corporate structure because they're disconnected from the outside world and just in their world, in this dumb little business office world. You know, that's where they're powerful and that's where they're the kings. And it really does feel like believable that they would act that way. And then also it makes you want to see them get killed. So it's like this great balance.
Yeah, like the tiers, you know, you've got your normal employees, you got people a little higher up, you've got their bosses, which are kind of assholes, you've got their bosses, which are kind of assholes, and then you've got the big bosses who are complete fucking assholes, you know, so there are levels, I guess, to why you would want to kill someone a little bit more than the last person.
And even like I definitely have never had a job anywhere near that level, but even just dumb jobs that I had. Like when I worked at a movie theater, thankfully I became a projectionist later on, but at first I just worked at the yogurt stand. And I remember like my managers who were just these, you know, they're just dipshits. They work at a fucking movie theater. They ain't better than me, but because they're the managers, it'd be like, oh, Keith, I got to write you up because you wore white socks with your uniform and you have to wear black socks. And I was like, are you fucking high? Are you kidding? like I would kill those people just for that. So when you get to this level of like, yeah, these like legitimately insane, super high lawyer assholes, it's like, yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, it's sort of like my last job. You know, I was the head of security for a Bank of Montreal tower. So there were people under me, then there was me, but then above me, there was my manager who had like a manager who had a manager who had a manager, but there was also the bank side where they had managers that I reported to on that side as well. So, just went further and further up the line. And while I got along with everyone on the client side, man, my side was fucking shit show.
I do love that this is like her series of, I mean, at least we're not getting construction noises today, but yeah, construction noises and cats, just random fucking sounds.
Yeah, it's either construction or horny cats.
So then, yeah, it also reminded me of, there's this anime called Zom 100 that it turns into just a crazy zombie adventure, but the first episode is so good because it's very similar to this. It's this guy hates his job, but it's even worse because in Japan, the work culture is so insane. So it's just like the misery of his day to day. And then a zombie apocalypse happens and just the freedom of just being able to kill everybody. And it also reminded me of the game Dead Space, where one of the coolest things about Dead Space is it takes place on like a mining vessel. So all the weapons are just what they had around to do mining with. So it's like nail guns and buzz saws and shit. And that was a cool aspect of this movie that, like, it was neat how, I mean, just classic that they send him down to the basement. He's got to start from the bottom, get all the way to the top of the tower, fucking like Die Hard style. But because he was at the bottom, that's where all the gear is, all the equipment, all the wrenches and the nail guns. And that was such a good way to have weapons that made sense, that wasn't just I guess that it was America. I was like, it was like, how did they get guns? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's not Canada. Some security guards probably would have guns, but it's a good weapon mix.
Yeah, here, unless you were working for cash services, like people that transport money to fill ATMs or remove money from ATMs, security guards in Canada are supposed to like be nonviolent. Like you're not supposed to touch people. I mean, some places they can, but only to like, hold them for when the police arrive, like when the real people with the guns arrive, But in the States, it's like, just graduated from high school, don't have a fucking job, here's a gun.
I also liked how it's just like one of those things where you can just like, I don't know anything about this director, but you can learn so much about somebody just from a little choice, where the fact that they had I always think of it as like, do you ever see that movie Garden State, where that one scene where they just stop the whole movie to listen to a Shin song? Natalie Portman is like, you got to hear this song, it'll change your life. Like when a movie goes out of its way to highlight a song. And in this case, it was a Faith No More song, but it was a Faith No More song from whenever this movie came out. Around that time, it was like their new album, their comeback album. They hadn't made an album in 20 years. And I didn't even think it was a great choice. It was a bit of a strange choice to focus on this one sort of middle ground Faith No More song. But I respected it because you could tell there was no corporate mandate on that song. There was nobody saying like, oh, we should put in this song because it's popular. Nobody is asking for the 2017 Faith No More song to be in your movie, but you can just tell right away, like, oh, this guy must be about our age. He used to listen to Faith No More. He kept up with them when they came back for the new album, and then he clearly went out of his way to say, like, we got to put this song in this movie. So even though I thought it was a weird choice, it's like a excellent choice in the sense that it's so idiosyncratic, Like, I love when you can feel somebody come through in a movie, like they're putting what they like in the movie.
It was a missed opportunity though, because I mean, when Derek asked Samara Weaving's character, whose name I don't remember,
I forgot already,
what her three favorite bands are, she listed Motorhead, DRI, and early Anthrax. It would have been a perfect place, that one scene with the music, to have put Motorhead's Killed by Death in there.
Yeah, because like I noticed right away, like I recognized it as soon as the iPod came on. I recognized that album cover, and I was like, is that the fucking Faith No More album? But then, immediately I was thinking of 10 other songs that I would have chosen, better than that. But what would even have been kind of double funny, since she mentioned early Anthrax, he should have put on some John Bush Anthrax, like Stomp 442 Anthrax. She'd be like, fuck, this is not the right Anthrax, asshole. This is grunge Anthrax. But maybe that's too deep of a cut. Maybe that's like a little much.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think about that all the time. I think about that more than anything. If I ever got to make a movie, like what songs would I put in this movie? Like I want it to be the best soundtrack in the world. So yeah, I just respected that he, even if it was a weird choice, he picked a choice that no one else on earth would have picked. So that was cool.
Yeah, so as far as characters go in this movie, there's the John Cho character, or what's his name? Derek Cho. Derek Cho. There's him. There's Samara Weaving's character. There's another character who they named. His name's Lester, but everyone called him the Grim Reaper because he's the one that went to fire people. There's the Siren, who's first, or her name's Kara, but they called her the Siren because she was always in the boss's ear and sucking his dick and stuff. And then there was the boss, whose name I legit don't remember either. I like those choices, like giving each person sort of an identity so that you understand where they are in the hierarchy of things. And, it's not hard to remember, like, the Grim Reaper. Like, it's just not. And he turned out to be a douchebag asshole, but man, for a gimpy guy, he's got some reflexes.
Yeah, that was cool too. Is like some of that stuff, yeah, that he managed to block a nail with his cane and stuff. Like it's right on that border of like maybe everybody's a little bit too good at fighting, but also that could just be the virus. Maybe like every little ounce of ability they got, maybe it's unlocked temporarily, so you can kind of buy that they could have these cool fights.
Yeah, because Derek Cho, when you look at him, you don't see someone that can kick someone's ass. Like, you don't. But, man, he was good at beating people up in this movie. Like, but not, like, fantastically. Not like, scissor kicks or, crazy MMA takedowns or anything like that. It was like, he was punching the shit out of people, and it was fun to watch.
And I like that what you're saying about the different levels of going up. Like I love movies like that where it's not a video game movie because usually those are not good, but it's a movie that feels like a video game. Like the two I always think about are The Warriors and Crank. Both feel like they're video games, but they're movies. And this had that feeling of like you're at the bottom, you got to make your way up to the sub boss on level 3 and get that card. You got to make your way up to the mini boss on level 6 and get that card. And then even when he fought the boss at the end, man, it felt so much like BioShock or something. I think in BioShock the guy even had a golf club, but you can just imagine that guy is the end boss in like Streets of Rage or something. He's got the golf club, he's got coke all over his face, and now you got to fight this guy. Like I love that feeling of progression. It's just satisfying.
Yeah, and overall, like I said, it's a very good movie, and I kind of thought you would be into it. It really reminds me of a cross between the Belko Experiment and the Sadness, because the Belko Experiment also has like a sort of drug-induced psychosis that takes everyone over. It's put through the vents or whatever, and everyone becomes incredibly violent, and they just start killing each other. Like there's no, it's not all about there's no sex or anything like that. It's just, oh, I'm all fucked up. I'm gonna kill a bunch of people, and it's pretty great. And then, of course, the Sadness, where people are infected and become incredibly violent.
And it kind of reminded me just the tone of Guns Akimbo, but I think maybe just because of the office building stuff. But that, like early in that movie where he just hates his job. But yeah, it's a good fucking combination of hating your job plus violence. I do like that a lot. It's like peanut butter and chocolate. It just goes together so good.
So obviously for me, I'm going to obviously give this a pass. Like, it's so good. It's a lot of fun, and I like a fun movie. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, and I definitely, I'm curious now that I don't even think I've even heard of this director, but right away I could tell like how I was saying how much I liked the early parts, which just usually isn't the case. Like there's a lot of setup in movies where I'm like, or did you ever hear that saying, burn the first reel? Like if you take the first 20 minutes of a movie and throw it away, you're probably fine. But in this movie, I really did like the start, and you could just tell, I mean, maybe this is less the director and more the editor, I don't know, but it was just so well put together. Just such a good way, like the structure that without being like mega stylistic, it also wasn't like edited in a plain way. I know it's a little hard to explain, but I just felt like impressed with every little shot of around the office, and I love like that's another thing I've heard people say is that you shouldn't do voiceovers. Voiceover, it's like a shortcut to storytelling. You should find other ways. But I like voiceovers in movies. I almost always do. I mean, I'm thinking of like Trainspotting and Shawshank and Fight Club. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a movie with voiceovers that I didn't like. I just think it's a great way to tell a movie, and they did a good job here too.
Yeah, I listen to a lot of movie podcasts as well. And one of the podcasts I like, it's called The Rewatchable. So actually listen to that. It's a good podcast. One of the guys talks about how much he actually hates voiceovers, and I'm like, I fucking like them.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Like, I feel like it's one of those things. It's where I'm like glad I didn't go, like, because, I could have been the big fucking, I'll go to school and do all this stuff. But I legitimately think it's almost dangerous to go to school too much, because then you get these ideas that most people seem to agree on. You get them in your head, and then you've got to, what's the word when you're trying to stop a bomb from exploding?
Diffuse.
Yeah, you got to diffuse this idea. Because, like, if I went to school, that's all they would have told me. If I went to film school, is like, don't do voiceovers. And then I'd have to spend the next 5 or 6 years trying to convince myself it's okay to do a voiceover. Like, it's nice to just be dumb about it. Just do what you like, and don't, if you don't even know the rules, who the fuck gives a shit? Because, yeah, like, voiceovers, there's nothing wrong with them. It's great, in fact. It usually is a clearer way, a kind of cleaner way to tell a story in a movie. But yeah, I hear that all the time of just like, don't do voiceovers. And it's like, well, where's the fucking evidence? How come every movie with voiceovers is awesome?
I would love, I mean, I don't watch a lot of porn, but can you imagine a porn movie with voiceovers? Like, the guy walks in the room, like the mechanic walks in the room, and he's like, oh man, I sure hope I get to fuck someone today. And there's a chick all of a sudden, like...
Or, yeah, or the sudden freeze frame. This is me. How did we get here? Let's rewind. Or like fucking Saved by the Bell. Like, you just like, time out. Can you believe she's sucking my balls? And her friend's tongue's in my asshole. How did we get here?
Oh, Lisa Turtle, look at you go.
But yeah, no, I definitely got to, like, do you know of what else this guy's been up to? What other movies this guy's done? Because I'm definitely in for him.
No, he used to, when I had Twitter, he followed me on Twitter, actually.
Oh, shit. Nice.
I had a few famous people follow me on Twitter. But he was definitely someone who I knew of, and I'd seen some of his movies, obviously. I don't remember anything else he's done. But it's not to say he's a bad director. Obviously, I like what he directed, so...
And yeah, Walking Dead guy was very good in this movie. I really did like him. He just a nice balance of, you did believe that he would work here and he would be one of these guys. But also, he was just... Well, this is a big thing I've been noticing a lot lately, is when people make characters that are like... I don't know, like anti-heroes or whatever. It's like, this character is a little bit of a jerk, a little bit of a dick, but they're not a little bit of a jerk or a little bit of a dick. They're like actually unlikable. And it's like, why are you focusing on this? Why is this the main character? I hate this person. So in this movie, he did a great job of, like, you believe he's part of this shitty place, but you still like him. And I think that's like a harder balance to hit than is always obvious.
One thing I also liked about this movie was that the boss, even before he was infected, he was a fucking asshole. Like, all it did was make him the same, basically. Like, he was still an asshole, except he would order people to be maimed or killed.
Yeah, although that's too... I love, too, though, when even the guy who's, like, a good, clear villain, you can still kind of... Because at first I was like... so there's that early scene when it's still just business stuff, where... Derek Joe is what's the actor's name?
Steven Yeun.
So he's going up to try to, save his job, try to talk his way through, and the big boss is not listening and is like, that big boss is an asshole. But then a couple minutes later, I was thinking, like, yeah, but if I was the boss, like, yeah, why would I care about this fucking guy when I could do coke and get my dick sucked and just... I don't need to care about this guy. So I even like that aspect, that even though he's a great villain and he's clearly an asshole who deserves to die, it's not like I could never imagine becoming that guy. If I was in his position, I doubt I would be a great person.
Yeah, all of the dicks in this movie, they were good at being dicks. Like that security guy or enforcer guy with the brass knuckles, like, he was an asshole. The old lady boss, she was an asshole. The dude that was a boss, he was an asshole. And the girl that used to suck his dick before she gets stabbed up, she was an asshole.
I even liked with the security guy with the brass knuckles. He was, because you could tell, like, everybody else was getting violent because of the infection, but that guy, he was obviously already more than happy to beat up and possibly kill people. But I liked that he didn't take any glee in it. He was so professional. So I'm like, you know what? I respect it. I still want to see you get killed, but I respect it.
One thing I liked that he did was when he was going to shoot Derek, and he just fired a couple shots off in the distance in the room, and then threw the gun away. He's like, guns are for pussies or something like that. And he's got the brass knuckles out, and I'm like, oh man, that would suck worse, getting beat to death with brass knuckles.
Yeah, I always think of that's like the opposite of Hair Star from Preacher. where he like didn't even bother learning hand-to-hand combat. He's like, I just always have a gun, and if you catch me without my gun, I deserve to die. So yeah, I respect the other side of that. Of like, I don't need the gun. I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna fuck you up.
So what do you think? Pass or fail?
Oh, big time pass, super pass. Yeah, I like that movie a lot. I really like. It's one of those things where, like, what would I change about it? Like, I just would have put a different song in for the fight scene. That's all. And I still like that song, but there could have been a better song. That's literally the only thing off the top of my head that I'm like, yeah, I would have changed that.
Have you heard the song "Killed by Death" by Megadeth or by Motorhead?
Geez, I don't know if I have actually.
We'll listen to it after this, and you'll totally agree with me that it would fit far better than the Faith No More song.
Yeah, because that song is even. I even feel like there's other songs on that album like that. Yeah, the song was not didn't have the energy that it needs, because that's the song "Motherfucker," where it's like this weird spoken word. I don't know, whatever, weird choice. But again, I like that he went with his weird choice, but it was a weird choice.
So we think you should watch this, and if you don't watch it, then you can go fuck yourself, because you should just watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. If you don't watch this, you're a fucking asshole. You can go fuck yourself. And while you're at it, come fuck this cat. This cat needs some loving.
Now she's taking a break now.
Yeah, it's just all worn out. That wasn't so bad as far as construction noises and cat caterwauling. It could be worse.
Yeah.
By the way, though, I do appreciate everyone who, this is what keeps us like we're street level. You know what I'm saying? We're not like in our podcast studio doing everything professional. We're just like we're just out here doing our little podcast with no support and no. Well, I don't know. I'm just rambling.
I mean, we could probably monetize this poorly, but honestly, like, just introduce other people to it. Like, get them to listen. You know, we're on everything. We're on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So, like, just fucking turn people onto it.
It really is one of those things, too. I mean, it's weird to just like, hey, you should listen to us talk. But something about movie stuff in particular is like, I kind of sort of gave up even listening to movie podcasts, because I would just try so many. And it's just so hard to find one that's on the right vibe. I don't know. Movies are so subjective that it's so easy to just find somebody that has some fucking weird, bizarre opinion. And it's like it's just, I don't know. It's hard to find movie podcasts that I like, but I like this podcast, but I'm on it. So I guess that's weird for me to say.
I mean, I would never presume to tell anyone what they should or shouldn't like. Anything that we say here is obviously our own opinion. If you watch something that we put forth and you disagree, like, I would love the comments for that. You know, I would rather hear that than someone talk about how we didn't put the full video on YouTube of the movie, like something stupid like that.
Yeah, so tell your fucking grandma. Why not? Just see what happens. Maybe you're trying to get her to die, you know?
Yeah. Have her listen to the Sleepaway Camp episode first, and then the episode where we come up with ideas for movies.
Yeah, that's our advanced level course for sure. That's the make or break, because I mean, I think that shit was genius, but I won't give it away. But yeah, go dig up that episode, and that'll see if you got hair on your chest or not, if you're down with our fucking movie ideas.
If you can listen to that and then you still want to listen to more, then awesome.
Yeah, then you'll be here forever.